Welcome to another episode of
Another in the Fire.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode today, Wednesday, or whenever you're watching it, day, night. Too much.
We don't know what day it is for you.
But you're on here, and there's no coincidence.
And a reminder, it drops on Wednesdays.
Oh, yes. It does drop on Wednesdays. All right, ladies. Today we're going to go into a topic that, sometimes we make our own plans and it doesn't come out like we're supposed to.
It's already getting intense, guys.
When the plan doesn't match the promise. There you go. Okay. I'm like, what? Matching like me.
She's like, I don't know where you're going with
I
this.
was trying to read your face, and I was like, what is she doing? She's looking at you.
I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Okay. But before we get started with that topic, let's go into our week. Ladies, how's y'all's week been?
My week was good. We spent the weekend as a family together. We played kickball and spent time with friends, and it was really good. I haven't seen Benny because y'all know that he's back and forth with grandma. Mm-hmm. So we spent the whole weekend together. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was fun too, yeah.
So
we were missing kids though. We only had one kid this weekend.
She's like, but we had a great time.
But we had a great time.
But he was having fun too, so.
He was having a lot of fun, and he's about to be 50. We're planning his 50th. And this guy was falling on the ground, crawling, trying to beat kids at a kickball game. Yeah. I was like, oh, let him have fun, but he's gonna be in pain tomorrow.
Yes. My week, it's been going good. It's Gabby is getting her permit, her driving permit.
Yeah.
So yes, she's getting it this week. So we're looking forward to that, and we're able to get on the road and start teaching her, because we know I need an Uber to take her sisters.
It's a team effort here.
Yes, it is.
Like
it
right
really
now
is.
that Natalie's home from college, she's our Uber and takes her sisters to practices, to the daycare, to wherever we need. She's a blessing when she's here. And so now I'm like, Gabby, you gotta step it up. I need you to learn how to drive. So
yeah.
For me, it's actually been a pretty good week. So I had this conversation with Layla, and we're going into her junior year. So we were talking about colleges, and she's going to start applying for colleges this year. Nice. And so I was like, okay, we're going to get out our calendar and start looking at her top 5 and scheduling the parent days to go visit the schools. So we've been looking at that, and I'm really excited. I'm not excited about her not picking the school I work at, but I'm excited to get out there and start looking at these campuses with her. She's going to be the only one we do this with, so going to just try to take it all in.
I mean, I don't know. You might be able to do it when they're 30 and 40 like me.
True.
I went back.
I wish go back to school. Pack your little backpack.
Yeah.
I was trying to follow. What is she talking about? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have been talking about that more, and
it's
pretty exciting. She's excited, and talking about the schools that she really wants to get into, and then safe schools, because you always got to apply to a safe school, no matter what I know I'm getting in. Mm-hmm. So having these conversations, it brings back a lot of memories of me and doing it with my parents, and just
how fun. And there's so many scholarships out there.
Yes,
there's money out
there.
there.
That's what I keep talking to her about. So,
but they have to do the work.
They have to do the work.
Got to do the work, and they got to find them, and they got to do the work. So
a lot of them are just essays.
Yeah.
Copy paste.
Yeah. Oh,
no.
No chat GBT or GPT or whatever it's called.
So yeah, that's how my week is going.
That's awesome. That's
fun.
fun.
I remember. Now that Natalie's going back, I'm all like, girl, you're on your own. You're a sophomore already. You figure it out.
Oh my gosh.
You're a pro now. This is not your first rodeo.
Yeah. Are you still gonna? Didn't you say last episode or like a couple episodes ago you're gonna be teacher Montoya?
Oh, Lord. Don't remind me.
Homeschool.
Yes, Abby is still going to be homeschooled. She's still 14th on the ranks. And then Nicholas is going to start like in a week or two. Yeah.
Dang.
Already?
Coming quick.
Yeah, he
They start
starts
early.
early. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
School days.
I know.
They're
I'm not ready.
approaching.
I love summer because we can all be lazy. Like it's real flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Really
love
laid
it.
back feeling.
Yes. Yeah. And they don't bother me like in the mornings.
They don't have
To
anywhere to
take
be.
you.
They don't have nowhere. Yep. I don't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to take Nicholas to practice at 5. None of that.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, 6. You see, I'm already stressed out. I don't even know what time it is.
Sorry.
All right. So let's
start
started.
driving. Tell Gabby.
I know. How old is he?
He's 13.
13. Okay, next
no.
year he can do the driving.
I'm like, don't do that to him.
I'm like, Gabby, start teaching him.
No, it's a parent teaching course that you do.
Come on. Come on, guys.
We know how we do it.
I'm already stressed out with the other two.
Wait, who's gonna teach Gabby to drive? You or
Myself. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have my husband chime in, but
okay?
And
She's
it's
registered
busy. Y'all
under
have
me.
like a country roads, and
Yeah.
so that's good. Yeah.
My husband tried to teach Layla to drive, and it was not. They have the same like,
personality.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like turn this way. No, go faster. Speed up. Slow down. So I was like, let me try, and then it just was like pretty smooth. So
I thought I was real chill with my other two, and they swore it wasn't.
yeah.
And then when I quit on them for complaining against me, they were like, "Okay, fine."
Yeah. So I got to teach her to drive. So
Oh,
that was pretty cool.
cool. Yeah,
cool.
no, I'm between my husband. Well, my husband taught Natalie, so he's gonna chime in, but she is registered under me, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see. She's getting her permit here this week, so. Anyways, well, let's get started
Yeah.
with the episode today. So this is the episode that when the plan doesn't match the promise. You know, how many times that we think it's going to go this way and then it doesn't. God has other plans for us.
Yes.
You know, so, and we were like, no, wait, why is this happening? It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be like that. This is the way it's supposed to go because
Yeah.
I said so, you know,
Yep.
instead of trusting the process, instead of us going through the motions, instead of us, you know, all that comes with it.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause it's
so-
always based off of what we want.
Yeah.
This is what I want, though.
Yes.
If you ever want to see God's sense of humor, just try to make plans. You know.
For real. That's what they say. I've heard of that before.
Yes.
It says if you want, what was it again?
I've heard it as like if you want to see God's sense of humor, then try to make plans. Like I try to make plans, and then He has other plans, and I'm like, well, fine.
Yes. So, all right. So let's touch on this. Like, did you ever give us an example of when you felt like you made a plan and then it didn't go that route, and you were like, their feelings or the emotions or anybody?
I want to just say that marriage is not always the way you planned it to be. And they don't come with instructions like kids don't.
And
Yeah.
if they do, please send them.
I don't come with instructions either.
Yeah, my plans for marriage were really different than what they look
What
like
it really
now.
is.
Yes, what it really became. So
Yeah.
my plans was to have my own money, my own career, my own life,
Yeah.
because I'm a boss.
Your own life.
My
I'm
own
like-
identity.
Yeah, it'd be independent. And then God got a hold of me.
I wonder if
and
people are laughing because that's them right now.
God got a hold of me, and I'm actually not independent, and I'm a rib of somebody else, and
Yeah.
we're two, but we're one, and yeah, that's not what I planned.
You're like, I was still going to be in my lane and you're going to be in yours, and we were just going to walk side by side.
Well, yes, because you're not the boss of me.
Yeah.
Pride. I think that's called pride.
Very much so, yes. So, marriage was not what I planned it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the boss of you.
Yeah, he is. He is, and I don't have a job or a career or anything.
You do.
I'm all like, wait, no,
I'm just
wait,
kidding. We can go into so many plans that are not what I planned.
Yeah. True.
I am not where I was.
You thought you were.
Where I thought I was going to be. Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Amen.
Yeah,
that's
true. Good.
That was a good one. That was a good night.
Okay, we're done here.
No, I mean, I can think about countless times that I made my plans, and it didn't work out that way. You know, like I didn't. A great example is when I was a single mom for years, and then I was working to get a house, and God blessed me with my house, and I ended up getting the house, but I knew good stuff was coming, and then I was just like, all right, I got my house, now I gotta do this, now I got that, and then like everything's working out the plan like it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm thinking it's supposed to be, and then he sends me a husband that was just like totally out of nowhere.
Yep.
You know, so whenever he said that, I laughed. I'm all like, oh my God, that is totally me, because I really thought, like, you know, in your head, like, perfect example right here. So in my head, you know, it's very much, you meet somebody, you go on a couple of dates, they ask you to be his girlfriend, or, you know, and then they propose, and then you get married, and you live happily ever after, right?
In your head. Plans.
Yes.
Again.
You are
planning
you're
things.
happily ever after.
Yeah. So then, but whenever, you know, I was starting to, that was my plan, right? But obviously I was just, instead of my husband asking me to be his girlfriend, he asked me to marry him. And I'm like, wait.
We're missing a step.
I said, you skipped the step. Like, you
Yeah.
can't ask me to be your wife. You haven't even asked me to be your girlfriend.
Yeah.
But that was new. I was new at my walk with Christ, and I didn't know that courting was a thing. You know, I didn't even know what the word meant, you know, so honestly.
He said, girl, I'm not booing you up.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with time.
You know, I mean, that's one, like, another one's like career-wise, you know, like sometimes we feel like we're meant to be in this career path, and God opens other doors that and shuts other doors, and we're like, wait, why am I feeling uncomfortable? Why is it not going the way we want it to go?
Yes,
you know,
I never saw myself doing ministry or church or volunteering. I never would do anything for free.
Oh goodness!
I like how you said that for.
And now I've been doing things for free for 13 years.
How God does it.
But I love it. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't even charge. I don't charge people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's very similar. When I went through my divorce and I ended up back living with my sister and her family, getting back on my feet. Well, really just getting on my feet, because I got married really, really young, and I went from living with my parents to living with my ex-husband. So I never had to do things on my own. So when I got divorced and moved in with my sister, getting on my feet, like, I had so much pride in that. Like, having my own place, having my own car, taking care of my bills. Like, I was doing it. I even had a gym membership. Like, I was like, we are doing it, girl. And that's when I met my husband in church, but we were just friends. Like, we went to church together.
Yeah.
And he knew that God spoke to him that we were going to be married. And the thing that I love about my husband is he didn't put that pressure on me. He just kept that, like, okay, God showed him that, but God hadn't shown me that. Mm-hmm. And so when I started feeling like, man, God keeps, like, bringing this man in my area when I'm working on something, if I'm serving, like, he's always in my, like,
that was not your plan.
Yeah. And I was like, God, why are you revealing this man to me? Like, I'm good. I'm living, I'm paying my bills. I'm finally, like, doing big girl things on my own, and I never had to worry about anybody. So why are you, like, bringing this man to my attention now? So it was like, my own plan was like, okay, I'm finally here. That was I made it. Yeah. Because I'm doing everything on my own, little Miss Independent spirit, but God had other plans. Yeah, and I was like, well, okay. So that's one of the things that come to my mind about I had certain plans and I was going to be single for a while because I told you I didn't even know if I wanted to get married again.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if I wanted to be in a committed relationship. I was still bitter. I was still angry. I was still doing my walk and building a relationship with Christ. And little did I know, my husband and a whole lot of other people knew. And I was just like, okay, that's good. Like, that's good. But I'm good here. I'm on this path here. And God had completely other plans.
Yeah.
Because when he did reveal it to me, it was like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I just got it. So, yeah. Fun times.
Yeah, I think that we can go on and on whenever I think it's something that we all do, you know, like in every season in our life, we tend to be like, okay, this. Well, at least I would say myself, because I'm very much of a person that writes down goals and this is what is going to happen. And I have to get this much money in the savings account. I have to make sure we get this. We do this, we do that. Like, I'm very much like that,
Goal
you know?
oriented.
Yeah.
Very much. And then when it doesn't happen that way, I'm just like, what the heck is happening? Like, what? Like, what is going on? And
God, why are you not on board with me?
yes, I remember it took time for like my husband's company, you know, like I said, we're going to open the company, and we didn't end up opening until like 2 years after is whenever like God aligned everything career-wise for me, and then my husband was able to stop working and be able to focus on his company and stuff like that. You know, like we can go on and on. Like my daughter not going to Texas State instead of the college where she's at now. You know, like it's just we can continue listing what our way is, because we're always do that. You know, but how do we deal with the detour? You know, how the detour of like, okay, God, the accepting of this different plan, you know, like that it's not our way, it's God's way, you know, like that's not the route we're supposed to go. That's not the job we're supposed to take. That's not the man I'm supposed to marry.
Very stubbornly. That's how we deal with it.
The pain, the doubt that comes with all that, you know, career. The fear, like the growth, because all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So how would you tell our listeners like how to deal with that, or a situation that we were like so disappointed, but we were able to get through that, you know, that detour, that we were so discouraged, but we weren't looking at the goodness that came with it. We were right. I don't know, something.
I think that there's always like a realignment when God does things with our plans. I just see it as he's realigning things, because before I saw it as a no, like this is not what you're supposed to be doing. I didn't understand. So before I became a stay-at-home mom, I had my own business, my own daycare, and I thought I was just going to grow from there and make it a whole thing. Like this is because you know, you make money, but it was my career path. And I wanted to grow that. So when my kids went to school, I was just going to keep doing it and keep adding on to it. And it was great. But when I came to the ministry part, like my calling, what God's plans were for me, I thought I was going to do both. And that's not what happened. I literally lost everything. Like we lost everything, our home, our jobs, everything, because we're stubborn. And we were not going to give it away easily. We were going to do both. And so when everything kind of just got taken away, because he was realigning our life, and then he told me to become a full-time mom and to volunteer, I had a hard time. And I still do. 13 years later, I still do. Because he did show me a vision. He did show me a plan. But it's been 13 years, and I'm still waiting for that to come to pass. And every year, I'm like, okay, this is the year it's going to happen, God. Okay, this is the year it's going to happen, God. And it doesn't happen. So the way I deal with it is I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it to come to pass. And God knows that. If he were to give it to me now, I would not be able to handle the stress or the scheduling, because we still have kids at home.
You would ruin it. Because
I
you're
would
not
be
ready.
stressed out. I'd be burdened. It wouldn't be a blessing like how he does,
Yeah.
because everything he gives us is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, 13 years later, I'm still not ready. Okay, I trust you.
I trust
I trust you.
Imagine all those times that we just rush into that marriage, rush into that job, and then because
Yep.
we want to
Because
make
we're
it
tired
our
of waiting.
timing, you know, like
There's so many times I could have already done my own thing, because I truly believe I know what I'm doing.
yeah.
But I believe that if I do that, I'm going to lose it again, like how we did before. We lost
Yeah.
everything. I know I'll lose it
It
again.
has to be God's timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I can think about whenever, you know, so I don't know if I shared it on here. I don't know if ladies remind me if I was previously married. I was way back when we were married. I think for a couple of years. It wasn't. I don't think it was a long marriage. I wouldn't consider.
How old were you?
I was like 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the way that it all happened, it was not supposed to happen. Like the way that it was red flag, red flag, red flag, and I ignored all the red flags. 2 days before our wedding, my windshield was broken by him. You know, like it was just
That was violent.
yeah, it was not the man that God sent.
Yeah.
You know, but because I was wanting to rush into it, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be a single mom anymore. I want to like get married and whatever not, and I want to have this big old wedding and everything, and then everything I had to deal with the consequences.
It was just falling apart even more.
Yeah,
Yes.
and, like so I ended up getting married. It was horrible. Like it was horrible, and then I had to deal with those consequences.
Yeah.
You know, like I had to like go through the motions, go through that hurt, and that's whenever it's just like I'm trying to, instead of waiting for God's plan, I was making my own plans.
Yeah, that's why I don't want to rush into it, because I know it'll fall apart.
Yeah, and that's when you were saying that, I'm all like, man, that happened to me, you know, like, and I was rushing into, in my head, it goes through that checklist. Get married, have kids, buy a house, and I did number 1, I did number 2, and the time when I was getting ready to buy a house, with my ex-husband, God closed the door. I think he said, this is too much. Like,
Yeah.
I
You're
can't.
forcing.
I'm forcing it. And my realtor, that I love her so much. She's known me since I was like 18. Like, so she knew my test. She knew what I was going through. And she was just like, Claudia, just sometimes it's not meant to be, because one door was closing, the other door was closing. We couldn't get a house.
I think I love that part about God, is even though we do make our own plans and we try to do it, He will intervene.
Yes. So yeah, that door was shut. We went through all the mess. We went through what we went through in that marriage. We divorced, and then 3-4 years later, 5 years, I think. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I made a plan. Get my house, you know, no plans in getting remarried, because you know you still have to heal from the mistakes that you put yourself in. I mean, the situations you put yourself in. You're trying to, like, your guard is up, like. So I got the house, and then I got my house first, and then God sent me my husband. And the way that we got married was just like, I can't explain it. Like, I really cannot explain, like, how everything just aligned. There was an alignment, and it was just, we got married during COVID. So I didn't have the big wedding. It got canceled because of COVID, but I can tell you that not everybody has a wedding like I did. Like, it was just unique. Me, my kid. Yeah, very unique. My kids, our kids, and my husband and our pastor. It was very, like, who can say that they got married when they were in lockdown? Because literally, it was locked down in the house that God blessed me with, and it was just like back to back to back, and I was just like, man, it feels so good whenever you're actually listening to God and stop being stubborn and stop trying to make your own plan.
Because that's what I was gonna say too. Like, whenever you're trying to, like, do your own plans and not follow God's will, it just gets harder and harder and harder.
Yes.
And the further you fight, the more you wrestle with God.
The more
The more
frustrated you
pain.
become.
Yes, like
It's
you
painful.
really are going like wrestling all night
Mhm.
and you're wearing nobody down but yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
trying to keep up with what I want versus what does God have planned for me.
I think that's probably because there's hardship that comes with waiting.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't want to wait for the right job, so they settle for any job. They don't want to wait for the right man or woman, so they settle for anyone.
Yeah.
And that's because there's hardship
Yeah.
to being alone or being broke.
Yeah.
Who wants that? So yeah, we do tend
And
to rush
a
our
lot
plans.
of like self-revelation, self-growth, all of that happens when you're in your single season or in the season like by yourself. And sometimes that's hard to face, that's hard to deal with. Like you got nobody else to deal with, you got nobody else to blame. It's all on me. It's just me in this walk right now, and sometimes that's hard. So I need somebody like a companion to
Or even our finances.
yeah.
There's a lot of growth in waiting for the right job or a good job versus the job God has for you. The whole being a good steward of your money.
Yeah.
You know, so people don't want that waiting period and they don't understand that waiting period. But I think that we need to embrace that waiting period. That detour is exactly where you need to.
You know, speaking of finances, funny story, because we were talking about like your plans when you got married, this is how I was going to be and blah, 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 blah. So when I was single, so when I got a divorce, I didn't know what bills were paid, what bills were not paid. I didn't know what we were behind on. I didn't know a lot of things. And I told myself I'm never going to do that again. I'm going to know how much our mortgage is. I'm going to know how much the car is, the insurance. Like I didn't even know how to pay bills on an app. Like I didn't do any of it. I do billing in my work. I don't want to do billing at home. So I told myself never again would I put myself in a position that somebody knew more information about my finances than me. Now that I'm married to my husband, he handles all of our finances, and I almost feel like naive when people ask me like, hey, what did you say? How much are your HOA fees? And I'm like, no idea. Couldn't even guess. I couldn't tell you if it was $25 or $250. I have zero idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you how much our car payment is. Like, not in a bad way. Like, I don't say that to be naive, but I made plans, and then God was like, no, your husband's actually going to take care of that for you. But he doesn't do it in a bad way. Like, if I wanted to, he'd be like, okay, here's everything. This is what we do. Like, he would show me, but I'm like
you have access to
yeah.
it. It's not like,
but I don't want to deal with it. I'm like, I deal with numbers all day. Please.
Yeah.
So, yeah, funny. I made plans, and God was like, actually, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, we keep on saying, like, we try to take the shortcut when we're not intended to take the shortcut. Where God wants us to take us the long route, not because He's trying to hurt us, not because He's trying to stop us from our blessing, but because we're not ready. It goes back to when you said, like, you've been doing this for 13 years, and God already showed you His promise, but you're not ready. You're still growing. You're still in the process of all that.
That's really all I can think of. Is that I'm not ready because I've been confused about it. I thought I missed opportunities. And no, He's just really like, no, like it's not time.
Yeah.
And I have peace knowing it's not time. But when I try to rush it, when I try to, you know what, I'm just going to go to work and I'm going to do da-da-da-da. And He closes every door, like how you said earlier. He will literally, this is a funny story, guys. I stopped applying for jobs because I would get interviews, they'd pass me up, somebody else, blah, 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 right? So then I was like, you know what, I'm going to go volunteer. I wanted to do the homicide
hotline.
No, the crisis homicides, like when there's a homicide, the people that go out to advocate to the home and they talk to them and they counsel them through the whole thing. So I wanted to do that after my nephew, he was murdered. Can I say that? I don't know. Anyways,
we're gonna put it.
So I wanted to volunteer for that, and I was like, okay, you know, that's just volunteering, right? It's not a job. It's not gonna interfere with God's plans or whatever. They denied me.
Oh.
Like he was still redirecting my whole plan
Yeah.
to continue to do what I was doing. Like he's serious about full-time ministry. And when he tells you that, he's serious about it. And I was like, God, but that's like helping people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the place that he told me to do it.
Yeah. It was
Crazy,
still
right?
you trying to make a decision around.
Yes. He's like, I put you here, do it here, pay attention to this, focus on this. And so he
It's
definitely is
trusting
always
the
redirecting me.
process, you know, like it's trusting
Yeah.
his process, you know, and because maybe we still have to grow, you know, we still have to learn, you know, like if he gives it us ahead of time, then we're gonna like not take care of it, we're gonna neglect it, we're gonna just not appreciate it, you know, and it takes me back like like my kids, like I know Natalie, she wanted some AirPods for Christmas, or I don't know, I don't even know if it was for Christmas or not. And we told her, my husband always tells her if it doesn't cost nothing, it doesn't mean anything, you know, like so. And I was just like, babe, let's just buy her AirPods. Like, what the heck? He's like, no, she's gonna pay half of it if she wants these AirPods. Okay, so we bought her like the first when they first came out, right? We paid half and she paid half, and she kept those for like 3-4 years. Like she was like taking care of them. Probably like 2 years ago or last year, she asked for an upgrade on her AirPods. We gifted it to her. She lost it within a month.
Oh my God.
So sometimes I think like whenever we're talking about that, I think about that and I'm all like, man, God, he's doing the same thing to us. You know, like he's all like,
you have to understand the value behind it.
If I give it to you, you're just gonna neglect it and you're gonna lose it. You know, instead of you working, instead of you working for it or paying half, like, you know, I always like to say, meet God halfway. You know, you have to like work on yourself, continue working on moving forward, continue growing, continue learning, and then God will make a way. You know, and then he's going to take care of the other half of, you know, because he sees that you're working on it. You know, like I always like to think about that. I'm all like, man, the process is real. Like, sometimes we try to speed up the process, but as long as I always say, meet God halfway. You know,
I think of like biblically, the Israelites when they were in the desert for 40 years because they weren't ready for the promised land. There was people still in that camp that could not go into the promised land. So
they didn't appreciate it.
They wouldn't value it. They wouldn't appreciate it. They wouldn't take care of it. So when I hear y'all talk about this, and then I hear you talking about like it's been 18 years, like maybe it's not just that you're not ready, but there's still people around that wouldn't value you in that position. Like I don't know, but I'm like, that's what I think of. I think of the Israelites. Like they weren't ready. All of them weren't ready, and it was only a select few that made it.
Is there something that you guys are still holding on, or well, I mean, you already shared you're waiting for the promise, like you're waiting for what he promised, but is there something?
I can still clearly see it, but I don't know the details of it. It is so crazy. God will show me the same vision over and over, but I have no details. And I used to struggle with that, but now I just really go with the flow. Every day, just go with the flow.
What keeps you grounded? Like, what keeps you still hopeful? What keeps you, like...
The fact that he shows me. Like, he's not going to give us a vision. And yes, because he's not schizophrenic. He's not going to change his mind like that. So the fact that he continues to show me the same vision over and over gives me hope that it is still going to come to pass. I just need to be patient. Keep learning, keep going with the flow. Like every day I know there's growth. And I know that I'm on the right path because he keeps giving me like confirmation. But yeah, it's all about alignment. And I feel like one day, God, you're going to completely turn it all around. And I also know that if he gave it to me now, since I still have the kids and I'm juggling Benny, since my schedule is more flexible, I juggle between everyone else's schedule. So if he gave it to me now, there's no way. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's no way we'd be able to do it because what God has shown me is like full time. You know, it's going to require more time, more attention, more focus. And I see my kids older when this is happening. Like Abigail's going to be older. She's going to be more self-sufficient when it's happening. So I won't have to worry about her. And, you know, everyone else is going to be okay, you know, because right now, like, Benny's taking care of grandma. How would I have been able to take care of what God has for me if
that's good.
I need to, you know what I'm saying? So he knew all of this beforehand. He knows what's going to happen beforehand. So I know it's going to happen when it's time.
You're so patient.
I didn't used to be though. I mean,
you're so patient.
I have struggled with God. I have cried because, you know, when you don't have your own income and you have to rely on someone and ask them for money, that's humbling. Especially for me. Y'all already heard me say I was the boss. And independent and had my own money. So from going from that to nothing, guys, seriously.
Yeah.
The very first time I had to ask him for money, like for sanitary reasons.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like something had to be delivered from me.
She's all like going through convulsions and her eyes start spinning.
Like anger came over me. All these things were happening because I had to humble myself and ask my husband for money. And for a long time, for years, that's the way it was. Like, why do I have to ask you? You know I don't have a job. So we would argue all the time. Like, just give me an allowance at this point. Like, so I don't have to humble myself to ask you. It was so hard for me. Now I'm like, hey,
maybe it was God using him to humble you.
Clearly.
I'm very much like, I'm the stubborn child. I'm not patient, and I want stuff when I want it, and and I do pray, and I'm like, God, like, if this is for me, like, you, even if this is for me, open the door. But if this is not for me, shut it and lock it. And put the key in your pocket. Because if you leave the crack open, I'm going to go in that crack. You know, I really need you to like shut the door completely. Like, so every kind of thing, I'm all like, I pray that because I know myself. I'm a goal-driven person, and I'm just like, I need to get it because my mind is already set to it, you know, and I'm pushing. I'm all like, if the doors keep on opening, and even if I have like, if I have bumps in the road, like, it's stopping me, like, I'm going to get through that bump, you know, like, I'm going to figure it out and get through it. So that's why I'm always like, and God, shut the door completely. You know, because I am going to try. If you leave it even a crack open, I'm going to go through it.
So, a little story about that. Being stubborn. The reason I truly believe this with my whole heart, not that we weren't already having issues that kind of caught up with us, but when I was doing the finances and I had my own job, we had savings, we had enough money. But when God was telling me like to let things go, and I knew he was telling me to let things go and like rearrange my life around him, and I was saying no, that is when we lost our home and we lost a vehicle that we paid off. And I was like, oh, shoot.
You have my attention.
You're serious. So you mean obedience. Like, he had asked us to give away a vehicle that we had just paid off. And I was like, that doesn't even sound like God. And a year to the date, and for a whole year, my husband and I had so many problems. We argued, we fought, the kids were crazy. Like, the whole household was upside down because I said no. A year to the date, he reminded me, remember when I told you to give that car away? And I was like, throwing the keys at whoever, because he showed us who to give it to. And I was like, take it. It was never ours to begin with. And I learned obedience the hard way. Miss Stubborn.
But I mean, that
friend, just learn.
That doesn't mean I'm being disobedient.
It does. Though.
It doesn't.
It does. Delayed obedience is disobedience.
Come on now.
Like, seriously. And I only had to lose a house one time to learn that.
Hey, why y'all think I'm being real quiet this episode? Just real quiet over here.
I'm all like, God talks to me different than he talks to you.
I mean, he was harsh with me. But
I'm like, we don't have that type of relationship. Kidding.
not yet. We ain't there yet, God.
I'll keep playing if you want to.
Yes, I remember things were going so bad, so bad. Not only that, we entered into other seasons because of that disobedience. Because I had plans, like this is the way it's going to go. This is what I want. This is what I need. And I was always butting heads with God like that. Like, no, that doesn't even sound like you.
Yeah.
And so he would take it away. Yeah.
What about you, friend?
What was the question?
Whenever
I'm still taken back about God took it away. I was like, God, I'm not even. I don't
even want to
Whatever
talk.
you say, let's do that. Sounds great.
like the process, like the growth, like in whenever you're waiting for God's promises and versus yours,
Like plans, yeah.
What do I do in the process?
Mm-hmm.
Fight him and wrestle with him. And being honest. Yeah, so I mean, I shared about my husband. That comes to mind because that was the biggest lesson that I've learned, like about having plans of my own and God's plans. And currently, like when I know that God reveals stuff to us, because he shows me dreams and he shows my husband dreams, and it has to do with ministry, and I'm still here like, God, don't you dare. Don't you put that on me. But I wrestle with him. I'm going to be very honest with everybody. I wrestle with God because one is I don't see myself in that position because I don't know if I don't believe in myself. But then when I admit stuff like that to God, don't get emotional. When I admit that to God, like I can't see myself doing that. Like that's not me. And then God reminds me, I know it's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's you. That's why it's him. That's why this is what the vision that I'm giving your husband and I'm showing you because you're his rib.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but like later, right? But I do, if I'm being transparent, what I do in the meantime is I wrestle with God.
Yeah.
And I've always been that way. Like, even with my husband, when he knew he was my husband before I was, I wrestled with it. Like, no, God, I'm fine. I'm finally content. I'm finally good. Like, I'm standing on my own 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And God was like, no, you need this man. Like, there's purpose in every marriage, and there's a mission. And I really believe that God put us together for a bigger purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's ever since the day we met, it's always been a bigger purpose. And we both have a huge heart for ministry. We both do. And so God just keeps telling us, like, you think you have a heart for it now, like, wait till you find and realize what your calling is.
Yeah.
Because I still don't feel like I've had that. Like, I know what I'm good at and I know what comes naturally, but God's like, you just wait until I like lay it all out and this is it.
It's like that puzzle piece. The pieces are coming slowly,
Yeah.
and you'll be able to see the bigger picture.
Yeah. So I wrestle.
Well, I think it's easy to wrestle. It's easy to be disappointed because, disappointed.
Stubborn.
Disobedient.
Disobedient.
She's like, that's a bad word. Don't say it.
But if you know me, like, if you ask me to do something, I will do it. Like, willingly, but I will do it. And I will tell you, I don't want to do this. I tell y'all all the time, I don't think I can do this, but I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm the same way with God. Like, if you tell me to do it, God, I'm going to do it. If you tell me to get up there and sing, and I don't think I can sing, I'm going to get up there and sing.
If you ask me, I'm going to say no. Yeah.
But
I believe it's because walking by faith and not by sight. It's fearful.
Yes.
Like, I don't see the steps, God. Yeah.
I see the vision you've given and the plan and
but where's the
promises. But in the middle, I'm going to fight you along the way. But again, the more that we fight, the harder it is. And I'm only doing that to myself. But
speaking of, you said, if you tell me, I'll do it. But if you ask me, I won't do it. So in situations where they try to give me a mic, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And like doing this podcast, I would not have done it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a mic. I don't want to be in a video. Don't ask me, nothing. But when you like just started doing it.
And I literally just ordered the stuff and we were
Yes.
just like, we're doing it, Angie.
Like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Because there was no questions anymore. It was like in motion, and y'all got me doing TikToks and all these things that if it's in motion, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Because I can't think about it. There's no fear behind it. But if you're asking me and you asking me to think about it,
give me an option.
Yeah.
Fear sets in, and I start thinking about all the things that are not in my plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's in every, I keep on going back to like, man, because again, I was like you, independent. I didn't need a husband. Well, I thought I didn't need a husband. And
I was independent with a husband. Sorry, when you said that, I was like, I was married.
I'm still independent spirit.
Goodness gracious.
I think we have a lot in common because the same thing happened, like I was just like doing my own thing. I mean, I just had bought a house on my own. I was so proud of it. I was so like, but whenever it's God's plan, like I knew he had a plan for me, because I was a single mom.
Yeah.
Like how can I afford this brand new house? Because it was like, how was I gonna afford the bills? How was we were literally sleeping on the floor. I know I mentioned it here in this podcast before. Like we had no furniture, like nothing.
Yeah.
And slowly, my husband, before he was my husband, he will come and help me put blinds, and he was just like, let me know. Like he was helping me make my home a home.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't in the plans for him to propose. Well, at least not in my plans. God didn't tell me that he was my husband. He told me I was going to be his girlfriend. Well, no, he didn't even tell me that. That's what I thought.
Again, you put these
expectations. Words in God's mouth.
And it goes back to and also right now as you guys were talking, I was just like, God, am I really being disobedient by meeting you halfway and trying to fit through that crack? I don't think that I am wrong to try to fit through that crack.
Can y'all put a comment and tell her
that her pride is so
that
cute?
she don't even see it.
No, wait, hold on.
Her pride and disobedience is so cute. Look at her. It's a good thing you're pretty and you're smart.
You're so pretty.
I was literally thinking, I'm all like, if God is
you're literally wrestling with God right now.
He's telling me I can do it. I just need to
there is a difference
lose weight so I can fit in that crack. I'm just kidding.
There's a difference between God's perfect will and God's permissive will. Do y'all know what that difference is? Permissive is He's going to let us do our own thing. He's going to allow you to make your own plans, and then His perfect will comes in. That's where you're struggling, is that middle. Because He keeps giving you an inch. I don't know why He doesn't speak to you the way He speaks to me.
He's about to, and
She likes it harsh, guys.
I know. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to look.
All right, well, we're a work in process. I mean, I'm a work in progress. Progress or progress?
Another justification, but okay.
Okay, God, you keep working on her.
All right, she's a work in progress, guys.
I do want to share though, because we were talking about what God has planned for you and what you have planned for yourself. And another thing that I want to share is my girls. So God had them planned already in my life and how everything was going to go. But that wasn't my plan. And then when it was happening and we were blending families, I was still like, I don't know how I'm going to parent these two. They're basically grown. They don't need me. And I don't even know how to be a mom. I don't know how to be a mom to them. It was a whole lot of I'm telling you, I wrestle with God.
Yeah.
I completely God, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know if I'm the right one.
Yeah.
But it turned out I was exactly the kind of mom that they needed.
Yeah.
It worked out so perfectly and still does. Just the way that they are and the way that I am, it just perfect will aligns. And I mean, when you get two young Puerto Rican girls, sometimes it's good that I'm just like, okay, passive.
Well, could you imagine if
Yeah,
you were?
because
You'll
if
be
I
screaming
wasn't,
matches every
yeah,
day.
it would be
Yeah.
horrible, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't faze me. And that's who they are. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes they're talking and I'm like, why are y'all mad? And they're like, we're just talking. I'm like, well, why are you yelling? But it was a reminder of like things that I didn't think were part of my plan.
Yeah.
And all along it was God's plan.
Yeah. I think so far we've been talking about like our plans, but when you were talking, God was reminding me our plans for our kids. Because I said, like, my plan for my marriage wasn't exactly what God's plans were.
Yeah.
And his were obviously better, right? But even our plans for our kids, because we're the ones who make the plans. And like how you said, like, she's not going to the college you wanted.
Yeah.
There comes a point in time where our plans have to turn into theirs.
Yeah.
And they're like, your plans sucked this whole time anyway.
Or your plans don't align with what God has shown them.
Yeah. And there comes a
for
time
them,
where they start walking that out. Yes. Yeah.
Like, or the husband or the wife, like, I like, this is the one that you need to marry because it has this qualifications, but they don't go towards that. They don't see that, like, and you're like, no, you're doing it
Listen
all wrong.
to me.
Yes. Yes.
So.
When you were saying that, I was remembering, like, when the two older ones were younger, Brittany came into some like complications because our plans were she's going to use softball. All of our kids, we tell them this, you're going to use your athletic ability to get into college. But when she was 9 or 10, I think she was 9, she had hurt her knee really bad and she needed surgery. And in that moment I was like, this is not a part of the plan, because she's going to use this for college. She was 9. We were already thinking about what she's going to do for her future, and this was her key into that. But immediately God healed her. Wow. It was like confirmation. Okay, you still can do this, but don't take advantage of her. Like, don't push it on her, which is what we were doing.
Don't push your agenda on her.
Yes, our plans on our kids. Yeah. And after that, Benny stepped back from coaching and she stepped back from playing so much. And she ended up going to college for it, but both of her knees ended up giving out. And those were the exact reasons why she didn't keep college. But because we put our plans on her. Yeah. And those, I'd never even consulted God. I mean, those are our kids. Yeah. Right? That's how we think. But those are God's kids.
Those are not your kids.
Those are God's kids. And sometimes we don't. Like, in my early years of being a Christian, I didn't consult with God on what his plans were for my kids.
Yeah.
I just made the plans. Yeah.
We're so focused on like what I want you to do.
That level. Yeah. When really we should be preparing and praying. What are your plans for them?
Yes. Or even just praying in general for them, because I know here recently I caught myself before when Natalie started dating. I was just like,
oh girl, yes.
Like, oh, I don't
pray
like
them
that.
away, girl.
No, I was like, I don't like this person from like here. When she went off to college, I was just like, I just don't like this guy. Like, this is not the guy, like, and then here recently, probably like about 2 weeks ago, I remember I was just like, now I'm all like, God, please bless her with a good man, like that's all, like. Because she wasn't listening, obviously, because she was still with this guy that I'm all like, no, break up with him. She wasn't listening. But then I switched, instead of like putting it on it, like my expectations on her, or like, I'm like, look, God, like, this is your kid. You know what she needs. Like, just bless her with somebody that respects her, somebody that loves her, somebody that understands her, her friend, a best friend, like, and I recently started doing that, like, just kind of like, trying to like taking myself out of it, because obviously she still doesn't listen to me, right? But
praying God's will for our kids versus our plans for them, or their own plans. Save them from their own plans, God.
Save them from my plans.
Yeah. But I think as parents, though, we don't always think about that, though, because we really do.
We think we have their best interests in heart, but truthfully, nobody's interest is better than his.
And I know a lot of parents who put a lot of pressure on the kids because of the plans that they have for them. and you're taking away like their childhood. You're making them stressed out at an early age. You know, like anxiety. Kids, so many kids have anxieties from school and sports and their schedule when they're just kids.
I'm like,
Like, when are they riding their bikes? When are they playing? Like, when do they? I from my own personal experience, I feel like we stole Brittany's childhood away from her because it was sports, sports, sports.
Yeah.
If you're not doing softball, you're doing volleyball. If you're not doing volleyball, you're doing kickball. Like, we had her in something all the time. Benny too, something all the time. Like, you're not gonna, no idle time around here.
Yeah.
And we didn't let them be kids. Now these two, they can't even get us to put them in sports all the time. Wait until school starts. I mean, look.
You know, and sometimes just because the path doesn't look like the way we want it, it doesn't mean that those promises are not going to come to pass. You know, like, so if you have something that you are expecting, just because it hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. You know, keep on praying, obviously,
yes, that's
but
what I was thinking right now. Yes,
keep on praying, keep on pursuing, keep on working on yourself, because if there is a reason why God hasn't gave you that. You know, He put that desire in your heart, not just because, not to hurt you. He put it in your heart for a reason. And, you know, and if it takes a year from now, 13 years from now, you know, like whenever you're ready, He's going to give it. So all we can do is really just work on ourselves, you know, because of what we do have control of is ourselves, you know, because
really learn to stand on the promise of God.
Yeah, and if you don't know what the promises of God are, keep praying. Stay in your word, because He will show you when you're reading, when you're spending time with Him. He will show you. You will have a vision. You will have a dream. If you haven't already, and you dismissed it because it didn't align with your plans.
You're battling.
Yes, you're struggling. Like, wait a minute, God, that's not what I want. But God knows what we need, and His plans are always greater than ours.
Yes.
I don't know how many times I can say that, because the consequences from our own decisions, they're not easy. They suck.
Something that says here, it says, keep showing up, keep trusting, even in the detours. God is still on schedule. You know, He has His schedule. He's not on our schedule. So continue seeking, continue working, continue just going forward.
Trusting Him, believing in it.
Yeah.
Yes. Casey, do you have any last words? She's like,
in thought.
Very quiet.
I just feel like that, because this topic, I mean, it's very, very personal to me, because I was on the other end of it. Like, a vision was given to my husband, and I fought God on it. Like, I really did. Like, to the point where my husband was like, man, did I even hear God? Was that a vision? Was that like a promise? Like, he started doubting it. That's how long I fought this. So it is very sensitive topic to me, but at the same time, it makes me think of people that are standing on their promises right now, of like, that's going to be my husband, that's going to be my wife. And I use that as an example because that was my situation with him. But when you are shown the promises of God, that's going to be your husband, don't go from A to Z. Let God take you through the alphabet. I had to go through some things, and my husband knew what the promise of God was, but he didn't get in the way. He didn't make it happen on his time. He still allowed God to be God.
And didn't manipulate.
He didn't manipulate the situation. And I think that's one of the hardest things when we talk about the promises of God and God showing you and revealing things to you is, don't put yourself right back in front of Him. Stay behind God and let Him navigate you through the promise that He showed you, because it can be very, very easy for us to try to manipulate the situation, to say, okay, God showed me this, so this is what it needs to be, because the truth is God didn't say right now.
Yes.
He just said that's going to be what it is, but He didn't say right now. So I'm deep in thought, because if I can share anything on this topic, it's we have to get out of our own way. And we have to allow God to be God, even if he already showed you the promise. Still let him do what he needs to do, because if my husband would have tried to like push anything on me, I would have ran.
But I do think that God had to have shown you at some point to some degree, or else you wouldn't have married him.
Yeah.
I could tell you the exact time. And I tell my husband, because we share, like he tells me when he got the vision, when he had the dream. And we were out at a ranch, working on the ranch, and I was walking. So he had 2x4s in the back of his truck because we were building. And I was looking at my phone, walking, literally ran into the 2x4. Like, talk about God needed to, like, black and white, line in the sand, tell me when it's time.
He
like,
stopped you in your tracks, humbled
hit me
you
in the
at the
head
same
with the
time.
2x4. And I remember like looking around and I was like, did anybody see that? Like, I mean, we're in this big old field. And I was like, did anybody see that? Like, I was
So embarrassed.
But the one person that came to my head was, where's John? Because if something happened, if I'm bleeding, where's John?
Wow.
And John wasn't even my boyfriend. John was
You were
just a
still in
man
the-
that I went to church
Yeah.
with.
God hadn't showed you at all.
And at that moment, God told me, why are you looking for him?
Wow.
Why is he your safe place? Why is he your comfort? Why was he the first person that popped in your head? And it was at that moment that I knew, you keep putting this man in front of me, because when I went through my divorce, I was broken, I was hurt, I was fearful. And John was the first one that really made me feel safe. So that's when I knew that God was telling me that's a husband. Before he was even your husband, like you said, before he was my husband, he was my husband. He was my safe place. And so I'm not talking a lot because there's a lot of reflecting going on.
Yeah, yeah. I want to be clear that John is not crazy. And he didn't just pick her because she's pretty. God really told him this was his wife. So
I got a good personality.
Y'all be going out there and just picking your man and saying, God told y'all.
Yeah, no, God told him and
God
gave him
really
confirmation.
did tell him, yes.
And, yeah.
Yeah, God did not change his mind.
And it wasn't until God told me
Yeah.
that John was like,
Wow.
yes, he told me to. And I was like, you didn't even tell me that. Like, he
Wow.
let God deal with me.
Yeah.
So he never even told you that God showed him.
Well, he had told people
To pray with him, right?
to pray with
right.
him about it, and that this was a vision and he wanted confirmation. And we had hung out, but I think when we hung out together, even in a group setting, if we went to dinner, I was so afraid of it that I literally like pushed and I ran, and I was like, God, I can't. I'm so afraid to get in another committed relationship like this. And we've had this conversation where I was like, nope, can't do it, won't do it. I'm too afraid to allow myself to get in a relationship like that. So I even when he did try
to date you,
to even get close friendship to me,
yeah,
anything.
But he never said, God showed you you're going to be my wife.
No.
Wow.
It wasn't until after I got it that I found out that he had already had these conversations with other people.
Wow.
And I think that's the most important thing, is quit trying to manipulate it and just let God deal with whoever he needs to deal with. And whatever the plan is, even if it's not a relationship, if it's not a marriage, just allow God to be God in your finances, allow God to be God in your workplace. Like, get out of your own way, quit trying to make things work your way. Just let it be God's way.
Yeah,
like,
because he really does align things and he really does confirm things. Yeah.
Well, that was a good note to end on.
Sorry.
I mean, going back to you guys, comment down below of something that you guys, that God has shown you. I mean, if you want to, I know that some of us, we keep it personal, and some of us, we don't speak about it. But, if you want to share, feel free to comment or chat something or send us a private message, and just tell us your story. Tell us what a situation that God, you went your way instead of God's way and the consequences, or whenever you did wait on God, you know, in any situation, you know, and yeah.
And maybe you need prayer if you're in the midst of waiting for God's promises to come to pass. Because I know I needed a lot of prayer. I needed a lot of confirmation. I still need a lot of confirmation.
Yeah.
So,
or if there's anything that we shared that you can relate to, like, you know, wrestling with God, or in just being in waiting season, like if there's anything that you can relate to that you want us to share more on, comment. Let us know.
To make excuses.
Yeah, try and make excuses.
ask us questions.
Having pride. Put that in the comments. Let us know, because we can always do like Thoughtful Thursdays and all those other fun days of the week where we can elaborate more for you as well. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us today. And just remember that you're not alone.
You're not consumed.
Another is in the fire.
Bye, guys.
Bye.